Hi and welcome to the third edition of Circular Functions Revision. This is the third set of questions, questions 9 to 12 of the multiple choice section of a revision sheet that I handed out in my Math Methods class for Year 11s, that is. This question here, we've got a function f of x equals a cos bx, and a and b are positive constants. State the period of the function. Now, as stated in a previous video that I've made, the period is equal to 2 pi over n when we have sine of nx or cos of nx. In this case here, our n value is b, so the period is going to equal 2 pi over b. And that's as simple as that question is. Let's move on to the next one. The vertical distance from the ground of a point on a wheel as it rotates is given by the equation d of t is equal to 4 take away 4 sine 8 pi t, where t is the time in minutes. What is the time in seconds for a full rotation of the wheel? So a full rotation of the wheel, we're looking for the period. That's a sine function, so the period equals 2 pi over n. In our case, n is equal to 8 pi. So it'll be equal to 2 pi over 8 pi. Pi's will cancel down, so that will equal 1/4. So that's 1/4. The time that we're told here is time in minutes. So that's equal to 1/4 of a minute. Now the question is actually asking for the time in seconds. So this will be equal to 1/4 of a minute is 15 seconds. I guess this is one of those questions where it is really important to actually read the question carefully, because the equation's giving you a time in minutes, but the question is asking for a time in seconds. If you don't answer the question, you can't get full marks. Okay, move on to the next one. The graph of y equals tan ax has a vertical asymptote at x equals pi on 6. Find a possible value of a. If we were to sketch a graph of tan of x, it would look something like this, between 0 and 2 pi. Just 2 pi and pi is there, and we have a vertical asymptote that occurs right here at pi on 2. So this is a graph of y is equal to tan of x. Now we have tan of ax, so we have a different period that we're dealing with here. So normally our asymptote would happen at pi on 2, but for this question we're looking at pi on 6. So this is actually 1/3 of our pi on 2 value. So if we were to get our pi on 2 and divide that by 3, that would bring us to pi on 6. For the period with a tan function, and that's the time for one whole rotation. So the period there, it's slightly different with the sine function and what it is with cos and, with the tan function, what it is for sine and cos. The period is equal to pi over n. So we're squishing it up a little bit here we're looking for 1/3 of the original value. So this n here is going to be 3, and n is equal to our a value. So we're looking to get an asymptote there of a graph of tan of 3x. So that tells us that our value of a from there has to equal 3. Hope that makes sense. I'll move on to the next one. What is the maximum value of the graph of y, or the function of y equals 2 take away 10 sine 3x? Now we're looking for the maximum value, so The period slightly changed there, but we're not going to concern ourselves with that for this question. Quick sketch of the graph. We're going to start at 2, and it's got an amplitude of 10, so it's a negative sine graph, so we're going to go down by 10 to -8, and then it's going to go up by 10 to 12. So the graph will actually look something like that. And it's after the maximum value. The maximum value is up here at 2 plus 10, which is 12. So the maximum value is equal to 12. And that's the answer to this one. Okay, see you next time.